right down. Tomorrow's Easter. My brother's bringing the roast. I'm in charge of dessert. What should we make?
How about we make a crumb cake there?
A crumb cake?
Yes.
As in like a New York coffee cake?
Yeah, New York coffee cake would work fine.
Wait, can you say coffee again?
Coffee.
Coffee?
Coffee.
Coffee. We're gonna make a New York coffee cake
How about a coffee cake?
because we're from New York. All right, that's what we're gonna make.
All right.
And I actually started already. I cannot take credit for this recipe. It is Martha Stewart, but I'm going to change a couple of things because she's using canola oil. I do not like oil in my cake at all. I understand that it makes the cake moist. I taste it. I can't stand it. I'm using melted butter. But I will rattle off what's going on here. And so I'm following the recipes. I've got the oven preheating at 325 degrees. And I'm going to make a small dish because I like my cake to be a little higher before the crumbs sit on it. So I'm going to use a smaller, like 9x9 dish, which I'm going to butter. But right now in this bowl is 1.5 cups of flour and a 1/2 cup of sugar, 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And basically what I did is sifted all the ingredients together, mixed them up, setting them aside. Next up now, I'm taking 1 egg right here. She has, in her recipe, a 1/2 cup of milk. I'm going a little more. I'm going 2/3 again because I'm not going to be using canola oil, so I'm going to just put a little bit more liquid in. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And I have to actually mix those together, and then they're gonna go and get mixed in with the dry ingredients. So in here is actually the wet ingredients. So it's the 1 egg, it's the 1/2 cup of milk, which I actually went a little more, closer to 2/3, 3/4 of a cup of milk, the 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and now I'm actually putting in the melted butter, which Martha wanted the canola oil, but no.
That's why I call it the margarita cake.
I just don't do oil, especially canola oil. I think everybody knows by now, I'm an olive oil girl, and olive oil is way too heavy to put into a cake mix unless you're making olive oil cake, which, not my thing. Next step is to fold the dry mixture into the egg mixture. And it is a gentle fold. So just a gentle fold until everything's incorporated. Okay, this is mixed. Prepared pan. All it is buttered. Nothing secret about that. We're going to spread it evenly. Are you waiting for something to drop? It's not going to happen, my pretty girl. Okay, next is to make the crumb topping. Okay, so here is the mixture of 2.5 cups of flour, a cup of brown sugar, and 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. And I'm just waiting for 2 sticks of butter to melt. It's gonna go in here and it's gonna make the crumb topping, which is gonna go on top of here, and then in the oven. Time for the melted 2 sticks of butter to go into our crumb topping mixture to actually make crumbs. I switched to a fork just to make it more crumbly. And now it's time. Athena is very excited about something. Now it's just time to load it on top of the cake mixture. So we're gonna have, oh geez, we can still hear her outside.
Yeah.
This is gonna be quite
Well,
the crumb cake.
That's gonna be a crummy cake.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't the cake swell still though? It's gonna grow, right?
It will. But we like crumbs. I'd rather have an equal amount of cake and crumbs. The only difference is now, because the cake is thicker, because we're using a smaller pan, the length of time it's going to take to cook is going to change. It'll take a little longer before it's done. It's the only difference. I like it. Looks good to me. Looks nice and even. In the oven it goes, 325. And here it is, just out of the oven. I would say it probably took all of 40 minutes altogether. So I put it in the oven, 325, waited 20 minutes, took a look at it, tested it, then turned it, put it back in for about another 20 minutes, and here it is. And it smells awesome. Here is my secret for getting a nice powder coat without plopping it all over the place. All right, I like the way that that looks. And now I am going to take a little bit more cinnamon. I'm just going to that's it. I'm going to clean this up a little bit, just so that it's not so messy, like so. And I'll make it nice and presentable. And there you have it, the finished product. Ready for Easter.